It's Raziel. I'm ready to go when you are. Your wheels are waiting at the docks.
That shit was so good. That shit was not good.
I hyped it up so much. Anthony tried it for Christmas and he was like, no.
That sucks.
I was like, yeah, but no.
You mind your own business, huh? Last thing I need is my boys taking baseball advice from some old groundskeeper. All right, throw the ball like I told you. Good ball.
Sí, pero no. A menos de que no tenga clases ya,
A
Mile.
lo mejor ya no tiene clases. O sea, yo tengo una semana esa de spring break porque no tuve clase el martes ni miércoles. Entonces está que me dices a mí. Porque ya la semana que viene no tenemos clases, ¿verdad?
No, jamás que no tengo
Ya,
nada de
ya,
clases.
nosotros ya estamos en spring break también.
Bueno, te digo, entonces ya. Bueno, ya es viernes. Bueno,
Entonces
es
a lo mejor
jueves
siento que
mañana.
fue fin de semana. Mira, Javi.
También la flaca.
You got a tail. Tell who what? A tail. Giving your pictures away. Fastball. Hey, hey, you mind your own business, huh? Last thing I need is my boys taking baseball advice from some old groundskeeper. Tomato sauce, basil, cheese. Cheetos cheese pizza puffs.
Spring is fastly approaching, and spring is the perfect time to do a fresh declutter, clear out the junk, clear out all of the funk. Having a clean space can also help you have a clean mind. And I am walking into this whole new.
As far as historians can tell, this is the oldest image of glasses in existence. It's a 1351 painting of Cardinal Hugh of St. Cher from a monastery in Treviso, Italy. But this cardinal died in 1263, 23 years before glasses were invented in Pisa. Spectacles then gradually spread across Europe and traveled the Silk Road to China. But if glasses weren't around until 1286, that leaves a lot of history where people must have been straining and squinting to see things. So, how did people with poor eyesight get by before the invention of glasses? Let's start with presbyopia, or farsightedness, an inevitable byproduct of aging that's plagued primates for millions of years. Historian Vincent Ilardi writes that before the age of spectacles, presbyopes were not totally at the mercy of nature, but found means to use magnifiers conveniently to continue productive work. Go back to the monastery in Treviso and you'll find a painting that shows one such magnifying lens. At that point, primitive magnifiers had been around for thousands of years. Excavations of Viking graves have uncovered the Visby lenses from the 11th century. They're perfectly ellipsoid crystals, probably used as reading stones or by craftsmen to see fine details. Other lenses are much older. The ancient Greeks and Romans had polished magnifying crystals, which they used to light fires. And the ancient Assyrian Nimrud lens dates back to 750 BC. Quartz lenses even existed 4,600 years ago in Egypt's Old Kingdom. Some scholars have wondered if Egyptian artisans used these lenses to make the minute details on their ivory knives. Although it's not clear that all of these ancient lenses were used to enhance vision, magnification was a well-established technology before glasses. In general, if you were farsighted, there was hope. But what did nearsighted people do? Surely if you're the kind of person that can't read an exit sign from 10 feet away, you'd have been useless in battle or seafaring. That assumption's probably correct. For instance, in the 1st century AD, the Romans excused an Egyptian weaver named Tryphon from military service for shortness of sight. If technologies existed to help people with nearsightedness or myopia, they were primitive and rare. Emperor Nero reportedly needed to watch gladiator games through a polished emerald that concentrated the powers of vision. Yet people didn't need clear distance vision like they do today. They weren't reading chalkboards in lecture halls or road signs in traffic. If you weren't a sailor or a soldier, you likely spent your day as an artisan, smith, or farm worker. The fact of the matter is that myopia simply didn't matter as much at the time. While nearsightedness lowered your value as a slave in ancient Rome, it was usually a superficial defect. One ancient Roman author noted that nearsightedness is not a defect which impairs a slave's usefulness. One who is by nature nearsighted is as sound as one who runs more slowly than others. But perhaps myopia so rarely shows up in the historical record because not that many people had it. Nearsightedness is a modern epidemic. 60 years ago, 10 to 20% of the Chinese population was nearsighted. Today, roughly 90% of Chinese young adults are. In the same time span, myopia rates have doubled in the US and Europe. By contrast, during the Renaissance, Italians called farsightedness common vision. Nearsightedness was relatively rare. There weren't swaths of nearsighted people in need of glasses. The scientific consensus is that lifestyle changes are driving the nearsightedness epidemic. Some have blamed heavy reading, but recent research suggests that
Smile for the
exposure
dash
to the
cam,
sun during eye
dumbass.
development can protect against myopia.
Let's kick things off tonight. I'm about to start a chase, round up the crew, and send them my way.
So perhaps the takeaway
All
from
right,
the
everyone,
history
the
of
hunt is
eyesight
on. Go
to
get 'em.
act like our ancestors and go outside. Hey, so if you guys thought this video was interesting and you want to see more, please consider donating to our Patreon account. Anything from $1, a quarter, 10 cents.
Gotta push them off to one side.
We really want to make this our livelihood, and we want to keep on bringing these videos to you guys. Thank you very much.
Alright, so that's one pair of prescription glasses.
Yep.
Plus anti-reflective lens coating.
Oh,
Scratch-resistant coating.
did I choose?
UV protection.
Priority, get your asses over here.
In the...
$95.
All other units are busy, so step it up.
Welcome to Warby Parker.
Wherever you're headed, Discount Tire wants to get you there safely. That's why we created Treadwell. Treadwell shows you transparent test results on how tires really perform.
Snuck up alongside him for that hit. Time to apply some pressure.
Trying, but ain't no way you gonna take me down.
My car's been smashed to shit, Control. There's nobody left to go after him.
Check everywhere. Calling off the pursuit. Driver gave us a slip.
Come on! I was just playing around. If I knew I wasn't just screwing with him, I'd actually go all in.
At this rate, we're never gonna make the league.
When you close your eyes and picture Antarctica, what do you see? Probably.
Hey, my sister been getting you into more trouble?